The story goes something about the Irish backing Bill Gates or something like that, or something like that. Basically, somebody did a puff piece basically, and they printed it in the newspaper that Bill Gates, when he was a kid, they basically said that pretty much that he was a good Irish lad and needed and deserved a second chance, and and that and that he had learned and that or that he was a hero basically, and pretty much the guy that he had shot and killed, him and his friend, those two people inside that computer room, basically had basically what happened was was the the teacher's boyfriend was a cop or something, or a police officer or something like that, and he came to show and tell or school, whatever. Anyway, though, basically Zachary and his friend had wrestled the gun away from, had jumped for the gun, wrestled the gun away from him, because he was doing show and tell, and basically they had wrestled the gun away from him. And police officers always have loaded weapons, so they figured that the best way to get a gun was basically to you know, basically, they found out that the teacher's boyfriend, I believe, was a police officer. So they got him into the room, basically, and then they went for the gun, grabbed the gun, shot him, and killed him, I believe. And then, I believe, proceeded to rape the teacher and a few of the other girls in the school. And basically, Mr. Bill Gates pretty much stood up on top of the things and said how he was the most powerful person in the world, and that one day he would rule the world, and this and that. And he had the gun, and then one of the other boys basically didn't like what he was doing to the other kid, because he was demanding sex from the girls. He was like, "Pull down your panties now," and he was like, and he was using the gun to pull down the girls' panties, and the girls didn't like it. I think he lined up all the girls against the wall or something like that, and he was using the gun to pull down the panties. And one of the other kids that was big basically went at him, and he shot him. And then, anyway, though, it was something like that. You'll have to look it up. Bill Gates, Ireland, the teletype room, and basically what happened there. Pretty much, then everyone was really scared of him or whatever, and the police were at the door, and he was like threatening the kids, saying they'll shoot another one, and he did shoot another one. He was going to shoot them anyway. He was just shooting them basically, and I think he got down to the two boys and basically just a bunch of girls or something like that they raped basically, and they're having sex with the girls pretty much, and him and his friend or whatever, and maybe one other boy. I'm not exactly sure. And basically, I mean, you'll have to look it up pretty much about the real thing. Anyway, the teacher's boyfriend was a police officer, and they had been bullying or trying to bully her or something like that, and he was going there to basically do show and tell with about police officers, being a police officer in Ireland and stuff like that. Anyway, like I said, they went for the gun, they grabbed the gun, it became a hostage situation. They ended up shooting all the other men in the room or something like that. There were a couple boys in the room. They killed them basically. I'm not sure. I mean, someone said they went for the gun, but and then they shot them basically. Pretty much, it was just the girls, and basically he had sex with them and raped them or whatever. And one of the boys might have been a drug dealer, and they found the drugs and they started doing them, basically, or something like that. I don't really know the details of it. You're gonna have to look it up, basically. But pretty much, it's an old story, basically, and pretty much, and then I think he shot the teacher. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think the teacher might have died, the female teacher, after they had raped her repeatedly, both of them, and they raped the other girls too, and then they shot the teacher. So both older adults were in the room, were dead, basically, and then because he told the story that the teacher fell in love with him after he had shown her how powerful he was, that he was willing to do anything for her. But the truth is, he killed her, and killed her boyfriend too. So it was just him and the girls, and basically, he might. I don't know. I don't know the exact details of it. You're gonna have to look it up. But basically, he would walk around telling the story about how he had basically shown how powerful or shown a woman how how if you just grab a woman, what's it called, grab the reins, you can take a woman's heart or something like that. But it was all bullshit. It was complete bullshit. He was a psychopath, and he killed the boyfriend of the teacher and the teacher. Anyway, later on, they posted in the newspaper something about like how he was a hero because the guy had gone there to rape her or something like that, or he was basically, there was a love affair between him and one of the girls in the room, or so, I don't know. It was complete bullshit. It was basically I think he called himself Lucas at the time or something like that. His name was Lucas or something like that, or something, I don't know. Anyway, his real name's Zachary, and basically the Zack Attack. You never know when the Zack Attack is coming, and basically it's like going postal. And anyway, they posted it like it was some great thing or whatever, but basically it's Bill Gates. And anyway, later on he's basically using depleted uranium shells, and basically it's an open source nuclear reaction, and basically was used in space beforehand. And a lot of people were like, oh my god. It's like, well, anyway, yeah. Anyway, though, a lot of people try. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't really matter. They posted him as a. Yeah, later they did a lot of bullshit, a lot of posting newspapers. I mean, in the old days, you could just pay $50 and basically get something put in the newspaper. A lot of people thought that news stories, by news, what's it called. But the truth is, you could just post whatever you wanted, and it was just by ad space. So you could post that you're the king of Georgia. And basically, people might actually believe that you're the king of Georgia if they saw you and a picture of you and a picture of a castle. Oh, well, that's the king of Georgia, don't you know? And then people might actually loan you money or trust you far enough to actually be able to get something from them. So anyway, the truth was even the front page was up for sale, basically. Generally, I reserve that for news only, and I think we might have gone later on for news only. But basically, every page of the newspaper is just for rent. I mean, you can just post whatever you want. So a lot of people saw a lot of things that weren't by news agencies and weren't by whatever. In fact, even the news agencies, they rented out the space, but I gave news free, basically free news space, basically. So anyway, though, it gets all complicated, and it's where basically a bunch of people thought things were true that weren't really true, and it got really bad, and they wanted to kill me because I was the real Lucifer Star. And for a while there, they just had the fact that the creator's name was L. They had finally figured out that was L and not E, and so they started going around, and it was calling himself Lucas something or other Star or Sandpiper or something. Lucas something. Anyway, they were trying to guess my name, but they didn't know my name was Lucifer Star. They just knew it was an L, an S, and that's it. Or they figured that maybe it was an L and S. So anyway, because they weren't the real Lucifer Star, they really wanted to find me to kill me. So anyway, yeah, and everyone was wondering, well, where's Lucifer Star? Well, and my name's Brian Briley from the Brileys. Anyway, whatever. Even Lucifer Star is anyway. He figured with L. I guess maybe they figured out LU from luxury or something like that. So they were going with Lucas. They kept trying at my name, but they couldn't get it. And the other thing is really just funny because my name is Lucifer Star, also known as Brian. Anyway, the most powerful rich person in the whole universe, basically. I'm the creator of 800 galaxies. And what can I say? They had no idea. But if they had an idea, they would have killed me. And they were trying to kill me. They eventually just started killing all the young children, figuring that because I was born in 1960 whatever, or 1970 whatever, or 19 whatever, they figured if there were no new children, then I couldn't be born. And well, I don't really, it's a little bit different for me. That was just interesting idea, good in theory, but not really, yeah. Anyway, a bunch of people had no idea what was going on around in the world, and they did so much damage that nobody knew. Not even they knew what was going on. So, yeah, a lot of confused people.